Well, hello again, students, and welcome to another lesson using www.sketchup.com free. Today's assignment is called the ID Companion. What you'll be doing today is creating a card-shaped model with a logo or image that you trace on the front and extrude using the push-pull tool. This item can be saved as an SKP model and submitted for 3D printing. And the first thing you're going to do is go online and find your favorite silhouette item. In my case, I'm looking up TIE Fighter. So I type in TIE Fighter silhouette, and then I'm looking for an image of my TIE Fighter silhouette that I prefer, and I like this one, so I select it. Let's see, here's how I acquire it. There it is. I can hit print screen, or I can right click and save image as. And then you're going to save it into your downloads folder. I'm going to call it TIE Fighter Decal. Save. Okay, now that I've done that, the next step, you're going to create a new file. So you're going to navigate to the free version of Sketchup. You may have to log in with your Google account. There's the familiar logo. And I'm going to create new simple template feet and inches. Move over to the right side where I see model info. And in this case, we're going to be using very small line segments to trace around our silhouette image. So I'm going to use the very highest precision and change the precision snap interval to 0.000, 000, or 001. Enter. A very small increment of measurement. And now I'm going to also use the fourth tool up, which is the Scenes tab, select Parallel Projection, Front View, select the 5'8" lady, hit delete, use the Pan tool, which looks like a hand, pull it down into the left. Now I'm going to make a little rectangle that represents the ID that can be used to hang on your backpack or hang on your suitcase or hang on the lanyard that you typically get in a school environment. And in this case, I'm going to select the origin and pull up a rectangular shape. I'm going to enter 2 for width, comma 3 for height, enter. And don't be alarmed if it gets small. Just use your mouse wheel to zoom in. That is a 2 by 3 inch rectangle. And now I'm going to use the orbit tool and then the push-pull tool to push it, and it's called extrude. I'm going to extrude it 0.125. Use the keypad, enter 0.125, enter 0.125, enter. There we go. Next step, put it back in front view. I'm going to cut a little cutout here at the top, which will be used to hook your chain or your lanyard hook through that opening. So I'm going to measure using the pencil, and I'm going to just go from left to right here and drag my line out. And as I do, I'll enter 0.625, that's 5/8 of an inch, enter. Now hit escape, and then take my line tool and go from the right to the left, click, and drag to the left, and enter 0.625, enter. All right, hit escape. Now I'm going to use the rectangle tool to draw my rectangle from there to there and then down like that. Okay, so I think that opening will be reasonably centered. And now I select this line segment and hit the delete key, select this line segment, hit the delete key. Now I'm going to use the orbit tool and the push-pull tool yet again to push that opening. And as I cut into that lanyard card, I'm going to enter 0.125. That's how deep I want the cut, which is all the way through the card. As you can see, I've cut an opening all the way through the card. Now back to front view. All right. So the next step is to place your silhouette decal on the front of this card, down on the lower section, or maybe you want to place it up here, and you can put your name across the bottom or across the top, depending on what your preference is. I'm going to put my image across the bottom and then have my name across the top. So I'm going to use these 3 lines up here in the upper left, select that, and select Insert from Computer. And there's my TIE Fighter decal. Select and open as image. And do not place it on top of your lanyard as of yet. I mean, as of on your card yet. Place it there and stretch out approximate size you want. Click. And then make sure you use this select tool in the upper left area here. Select your ID. Then move to the top view. And then use the move tool to pull your image forward and there to the right so that it's in front and not on your lanyard. And then you want to pull it and place it where it belongs. Say there. Okay. And at this point, I can, let's rotate a bit. What I'll do next is I'm going to, back to the select tool, I'm going to use that select tool to right click on my image and explode it. Don't miss that step. Now I'm going to use the bucket, but I want to select the eyedropper. So I sample the image and then click and project it onto my lanyard and then hit the delete key to remove the actual image. And there you have, now don't worry about this image at the top. That will not be printed in 3D, but nothing will be printed except just one color in plastic. But this image is what you're going to trace now. You can put it back in front view and use the line tool to trace. And I recommend you zooming in very closely to trace around your silhouette shape. As you can see, I'm going to zoom in very close. If you zoom in very close, you can take advantage of that precision setting that you've set. So it will hopefully be snapping very close to the precision setting that you've been set. If you're far away, it won't necessarily snap very accurately, but there I go. And I just continue this process, tracing all of these dark areas, which I intend to use the push-pull tool to pull out all of the dark black area here. So I want to trace every shape as highly accurate as I can. Take your time. This process can take quite some time, but the more accurate that you trace it out, the more you'll enjoy it. Now you can always use the pan tool to pan, and then you return to the pencil or the line tool to get your line back. Then as you can see, and you move around and you're going to trace your shape. I want to show you one technique too. In certain areas, you want to use straight lines like here. Just go straight, zoom in close, straight, straight. Maybe here you can just use a straight line, straight. But in certain places, you may want to use an arc. So what you do is you can use the escape key to get out of the line tool. And again, I'm going to use the pan tool to identify this arc here. And then I'm going to use this 2-point arc. It's the second arc tool down. And I will select here and here and create an arc. And then I return to the line tool to continue on tracing as I go. Fast forward, I've traced this entire image, and now I'm going to use the revolve tool to revolve and push-pull the various shapes. So on the left side, I outlined that, and I'm pulling it out. And as I pull it out, I'm going to enter 0.125, and it'll extrude 0.125, 1/8 of an inch. And then on this side, I select the shape, pull it out, Oops, make sure you're pulling it out. And again, the shape, the extrusion will be 0.125 on your keypad, and then hit enter to lock it in. So I want you to consider keeping this simple. So now that I've placed my shape, I'm going to go front view again, and I'm going to add a name. Name, I believe, is under the rectangle tool. There's the A, so you select that, and you get a pop-up window that says 3D text. Here's where I suggest maybe using capitals. You can put any name or any word you want, or no words at all if you don't want to do that. Also, I'm going to pick this permanent marker shape that I like, and here notice the height. You want it only to be about maybe 0.375. So I enter that. That's 3/8 of an inch. And then also think the text extrusion should not be 6 inches, but at most likely 0.125. I enter 0.125 there and click OK. And there's my name, and I can place it. And if you want to, you can decide maybe if you want it a little wider or you want to adjust it. You can also use a scale tool. You could grab the side and pull it just a little bit like that, just extend it a little wider. No, that's fine. Think about being a designer when you do this. And then you can also rotate and see what it looks like. See how it extruded. And this whole entire item is going to be a solid piece of plastic. So save. It says saving. I already called it the TIE ID number 2, TIE Fighter ID number 2. At this point, what you want to do is go to these 3 lines, download version 2021, your SKP model file. You select that. And as you can see, TIE ID 2 SKP, that's the 3D model, went into my downloads folder. So I go to my downloads folder. With my downloads folder, there it is. Now I can, let's say, I believe I will open your SKP model. Let's say that's what it looks like. I take it and export as an STL. That's stereolithography. So I'm exporting now, and as you can see, tieid.stl is in my downloads folder. So if we open up the tie STL file, that's the type of file that the printer uses. And I'll rotate it around, show you what it looks like. And again, you can pick any color in the Crayola rainbow. That's black, brown, blue, red, yellow, green, purple, orange. I've got silver, I've got gray, I've got white, pink. So select your color, and I will take care of the rest. I hope this video helped. Good luck.